Thanks for tuning in. Today on the podcast, we're talking about business ideas, kind of how we come up with business ideas, how other people come about inspiration for their ideas. We kind of spitball a few ideas ourselves, some cupcake culinary startups that we're talking about, business ideas that we've had but we're already taken. Obviously, there's a lot of stories out there that people had a big idea. The next thing you know, it comes out and it's hugely successful. And that is about it for this episode. Also, you can listen to this on Podbean. Hit us up on Podbean. Facebook, go like the page there, share it. YouTube, you can subscribe to us. And as well on the Podbean, at the top right-hand side, we have a patron program now if you want to help support us, some crowdfunding. All proceeds go towards paying for our podcast equipment. If you want to email us, you can hit us up at thestartupspodcast@gmail.com. If you're interested in coming to an interview or you want to know about the show or maybe you have some suggestions or feedback. And welcome back. Another Startups episode here.
Buongiorno.
Today, buongiorno.
Spicing it up a bit.
We are going worldwide.
Mm-hmm.
Today we are talking about finding inspiration for business ideas and spitballing a few ideas that we've kind of had on the back burner, just to throw some things out there, and maybe we'll come up with some new ones today. Just throwing some ideas around.
I don't see why not.
I feel like that's always that works for me, just to be talking about ideas.
It's a good way of just coming up with more.
Yeah, you just throw them around and then something comes up. So today we're going to be kind of loosely discussing how we come up with business ideas, maybe some other things that we've heard of. We'll spitball some ideas we have for potential businesses.
Mm-hmm.
And then business ideas that you've had that were already taken.
Which is almost all of my ideas that I get.
Including your favorite childhood summertime events.
Yes.
So, did you want to start us off? You said you had some in the tank.
I had a few. So this is one that was already taken, and sometimes people don't believe me when I say this, but I had the idea for Tinder like maybe 6 months before the app came out.
Really?
Yeah, and I was called I'd Tap That, I think. So
I like that way better.
It'd be connected to your and then you'd like tap the button if you'd like them or not. And so it'd be connected, I think it was to your Facebook friends or something.
Okay, yeah. Which, like Tinder, I think you...
Yeah, similar to that sort of thing. So people around you, and then you can evaluate if you tap that person or not. There'd be a more elegant way of doing it, but you would do that, and then everybody else would do the same thing. And if both of you did it at the same time, then you match, just like in Tinder.
Oh, man.
But never. Now I'm out a few $1 billion.
I'm sure they make a lot of money.
Oh, they probably... Well, why don't we look it up? Hey?
Yeah, let's check that out. It's not a... Man, that's such a dagger.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like I could have built the app. They are valued at...
How much money is Tinder worth?
$1.35 billion as of 2015. And possibly a lot more.
How long do you think it took to make, though? Like, definitely more than 6 months?
Like I'm sure they were working on Tinder before 6 months ahead of the release, but
yeah, I guess it probably depends on how many people were doing it. It's fairly simple. I mean, the only thing is the geolocation. You just need to be able to tell.
Handling the load of a billion swipes per day they have.
Holy shit!
That is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess like all your conversations with people that like you're matched with, they have to house and like store all those conversations. Yeah. Like I don't think they're stored locally, or at least like to your profile. Those are all.
Yeah, but like I feel like probably a good chunk of my business ideas are like app related, computer science related.
Which
I
is
don't think
your
like,
realm
I
of
should start a
thinking.
restaurant that's Malaysian, but also not. Like, I don't come up with those things too much.
Well, speaking on, I had like an inner monologue about this
Oh,
today.
yeah?
Speaking on food, because obviously, I'm a big fan of Prairie Noodle House.
Of
Shout out.
course.
And yesterday, me and my girlfriend went to Soul Fried Chicken
Oh,
out there on. Dangerous. Dangerous.
so good.
And I was just like thinking, it had a kind of a prairie noodle vibe. And because people in Edmonton like to eat out. Like there's so many food places, and every time some new shop is opening on White, it seems that it's some sort of cafe or restaurant,
Like a
stuff
fancy,
Yeah.
like...
exactly, right?
And all the old ones are getting like redone too. And
Yeah, there aren't too many like dive bars or that sort of thing.
No. And what I found is if you look back 2012, 2013, maybe into 2014, the big craze was Vietnamese food, pho. Everyone wanted pho.
yeah.
And that was the
pho?
trend. Do you remember that?
What the fuck?
What is it called again?
Which one?
Or
Fabulous? They're
it's
just any pun you
how's
can...
it pronounced? Sorry, I said that
Oh,
wrong.
sorry, pho.
It's pho.
Pho.
Yes, it is. Okay.
Vietnamese people don't like it when you...
Okay, I'm just gonna say Vietnamese food.
Fabulous. What the fuck?
Yeah.
All of
It's,
those.
Far
so that
away.
was the craze. And then all of a sudden it seems that Japanese food has come forth. You have Dorinku now, all these places.
Yeah, we got a few like brand new Japanese places.
And sushi has been the craze. But
Oh yeah.
ahead of the curve, and why I'm talking about Prairie Noodle and Soul Fried Kitchen, is they've either taken a... Is Japan considered Asian in Asia?
Yes.
Yes?
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm asking you. They either take an Asian a dish and give it a Western twist and Western maybe ingredients, kind of like Prairie does. They have what's it called? The wild bow and stuff, but they're using elk and things from North America,
cool.
and some of their ramen bowls have prairie flavors and barley chicken and stuff. And then you have Seoul fried chicken, which took a Western dish and put in a Korean spin on it.
Yeah.
And those, to me, I think are doing so extremely well and stand out. As they're kind of ahead of the curve. They're not just trying to fold into, this is a sushi restaurant and that's it.
Yeah.
They're not like purist, and they're. I feel like it's way ahead of the curve, and that's why they're doing so well.
It takes a certain element of creativity too.
Exactly, right? And it's a really nice blend of bringing Asian cuisine, either whether it's a dish or you're making a Western dish more Asian, which we have a huge Asian population in Edmonton, it seems like.
That's
right?
what I was gonna say, like especially in multicultural country like Canada, and then furthermore Edmonton. It's
especially I would say on the south side too.
Yeah, it works.
Yeah, and then they're making it more accessible by having that Western element to it. It's just like I was thinking about today, and it's no surprise that they're doing so well. It's just like you said, a certain level of creativity, and I feel like those two places in my mind are like really ahead of the curve.
That reminds me of I want to say last summer in BC. No, here actually in Edmonton, 2 years ago. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, 2 years ago, I had this pizza from an Indian pizza place, and it was ridiculously good.
Is it like southeast side?
Yeah.
What? You can't remember what it's called?
I can't remember the name, but
I think
but
I've
it's
been
pretty
there,
big.
but I didn't get the pizza.
Pieces, and it like every other pizza tastes the same to me from like Domino's, like Papa John's, blah blah.
To a certain degree,
But this one had a certain flavor to it, and like Indian taste to it, and I found it very. I was surprised that they didn't have more shops around the city, because it seemed like a very like new, refreshing taste that people would be down for.
Like I wouldn't mind a tandoori chicken pizza.
Oh yeah.
Like that was, or a goat curry pizza, like for sure.
The butter chicken one was the one my friend got, and it was ridiculous. Like I ate, I think 4, and just sat on his couch like, dog, have I never tasted this before? What the heck?
I might have to look that. Is it called like?
I honestly could not tell you name because
I'm just gonna be throwing out names.
2 years, but
I think it's in Meadows because that has a big Indian population.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It's down in there, and I think it's across from the Save On Foods or Sobeys down over there.
Is it by a McDonald's?
I'm not too sure. Okay. I can't remember there being a McDonald's in that square, but I remember there being like an Indian food store in that square.
Indian food, and then there's a liquor store over here, and then there's a Save On Foods or a superstore or whatever the fuck.
I think so.
And then, anyways, for our non-Edmonton podcast listeners,
I'm trying to get sponsored is what I'm trying to do right now. So.
Do you guys remember when cupcake shops were a big craze?
Yeah.
A few years back.
Yeah.
I went to, I was still living in St. Albert. I was a small kid. And I think we came into Edmonton on the north side and went to one. Mm-hmm. And they were gourmet, and I hated them. So I've forever
I never really got into that. Like, cupcakes are fine, but...
yeah.
But, I mean, it works, right? It's a business idea.
That's true.
They got it.
I don't know. But, yeah, actually...
I like it. I like cupcakes.
I like the homemade stuff. I don't know. The gourmet... I can't get behind.
I mean, there are so many different ones now, too, though. You know?
Yeah.
Do you think they all kind of have the same vibe to it for the most part?
They have the same vibe for sure.
Because I don't like the commitment to a whole cake. But at the same time, it's like for you to get cupcakes, you just go to like Superstore or something. But then if you have when the cupcakes shop started coming out, it was like an obvious need. Mm-hmm. That it was able to fill.
There's just some things, I mean, unless you're really talented, and maybe someone should be doing, there's some things that you can do with cake that people don't do with cupcakes. Like, cakes sometimes have that layer in the middle, whether it's strawberry or something. Like, when have you ever seen a cupcake with that, right?
It's true. That's
ideas.
Or
right?
A cheesecake cupcake.
Like, I don't know why cupcakes don't have layered,
Yeah, I'm not too sure, maybe the logistics of when you bake it is not really...
That would not make sense, because you just put it in the
mold,
in the holder.
Cupcake
and you bake
tray.
two.
And you just...
Well, maybe
instead of pouring one in, you can just put, I don't know, a couple.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe...
Maybe we should try this.
There we go.
Maybe what you see. This is what we're talking about. You're throwing around ideas,
and then we got an idea.
What you do is, I was just thinking about the cupcake holders that you bake them in, that you pour the batter in. You only pour in half, and then you cook that or bake it, and then you pour in another half, and then you can do your layering.
But that's the thing is, you wouldn't, because you can't do what you just said, because the bottom would be burnt. But I was thinking...
No, you back... Oh, kind of like...
well, but these are kind of pretty lame ones.
You go to the top. Yeah, right there. The one that you were just on.
This one?
To the right? Yeah, that one. I'm talking like that.
But this is kind of... So what we're looking at is they just baked a normal cupcake, cut it in half, put icing in between the two halves, and stuck it back together again. Yeah. Which isn't far enough for me, I feel like.
What did you look up?
I just looked up layered cupcakes.
Okay. Go to the one to the right. That's a better
idea.
That's
better.
You do
so
it down
now it's like
center.
A cupcake volcano, kind of. Like the middle is a bit hollow, and they've got icing and stuff in there.
Snap.
Like what they've been doing to donuts, they got to bring that over to the cupcakes.
So
hungry. Jelly filled. I'm not a big fan of jelly, but I'm sure a lot of people like that. But yeah, maybe instead of obviously cakes, it's the horizontal layer. Mm-hmm. And with cupcakes, you have to just do down the middle, kind of center.
Take advantage of that, right?
And that'd be sweet. I mean, I don't know why they don't try and do cheesecake cupcakes and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. That's got
all those bakers out there. This is
I'm no culinary visionary, only imaginary. Oh, bars.
Only a rapper for
Tolu, drop a beat.
but I mean, it's got to be possible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, damn.
All right, I've got a business idea. Well, it's not a business idea. It's an idea I have.
It's called these things. If we made the cupcake business, called Cakes on Cakes. No, wait. Oh, they're not layered though. Fuck it. That's only if we had them
throw
stacked.
It up, guys.
There's going to be cakes on
it doesn't
cakes,
work.
but it doesn't work anymore.
Never mind.
Just all right, cuppers.
So what I got now, totally different, left turn.
Okay.
It's a horror movie idea, right?
Oh.
Still kind of a business on its own.
Okay.
But it's an idea. All right, so here's the plot of the horror story, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
Don't give me that look, Tolo. This is a valid. Everybody I've told this to has loved it.
Oh, I'm ready.
All right, so you're walking down the street or something. I don't know. Somebody died. There was some car accident. Who cares? There's some sort of setup, right?
Yeah.
And you find an iPhone on the ground.
Uh-huh.
You pick it up and you think, oh, I don't. Who does this belong to? I should return this to the owner. You bring it home. You go upstairs. You go into your bedroom. And you open the iPhone and you want to find out like who it belongs to. You can send them a text or something, right? Oh, I have your phone. And there's nothing in there except the Photos app. And you click the Photos app and you start swiping through the photos. And the first photo is a picture of your neighborhood. And you swipe to the right. And the next photo is your neighborhood, but it's taken a little bit closer to your house. And the next picture, a little bit closer to your house. Next one, it's a picture of your house.
Damn.
And then the next one, it's a picture of your front door. And then you swipe and you hear the door downstairs open. And the next picture is like your front entryway. And you keep swiping and it's going up your stairs. And then it's like a picture of your bedroom door from behind you. And you keep swiping and you hear the door open behind you. And it's a picture of you with your back to the door looking at this phone. And you keep swiping.
That's the thing is that you wouldn't keep swiping at that point.
No, you would like
rather have jumped
Well, maybe
out
they
the window.
can't hear it, but it cuts to outside the doorway, like from the vision of the whatever coming up the stairs, but they can't hear it.
Yeah, you got all these. Again, I'm not a like you said. I'm not a filmmaking visionary here.
You can make that work.
Oh yeah,
That's creepy as
I don't know what you do once it reaches like behind your head though. But that's all the amateur filmmakers or professional ones.
That sounds like a potential Black Mirror episode.
Oh shit! Yeah,
As opposed to
like just a traditional.
just a traditional.
I think it would work better in short movie form. Short.
I definitely love what Black Mirror is doing with that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You gonna say, Brandon? Have you seen Black Mirror yet?
I haven't.
Black Mirror it's amazing.
It's like each episode is its own. It's like kind of like the Twilight Zone, but it's got a futuristic tech spin on it.
Right.
And there's a bunch of stuff like I think we've talked about this before. Like
you guys have definitely
a bunch of
tried to sell me on it a few
concepts
times.
that we've talked about. Like, imagine if in the future this happened, except they like play it out and give you.
Remember the hole we went down is like if you transferred your consciousness to
that's on there too.
To
season,
I think an episode. Right?
Robot. How would you know? It's
1 or
you?
2.
Was that the boring episode though?
It seemed boring until
until
spoilers.
Damn.
All right.
Yeah.
Do you guys find being in comp sci, you get way more people who come to you with ideas and say, "I have this business idea. You know how to make apps, right? Why don't we do something?"
Yeah. I guess I've gotten it a few times, maybe not.
I've gotten it way more after people have found out I'm in computer science than before.
Yeah. I've had a couple, like obviously the app we're working on this summer.
Mm-hmm.
I was approached. I think I've had it. The one that I know I can remember is a guy I was working with. I think he's doing He's doing engineer at the U of A, but he was talking about creating some kind of football helmet to like decrease the impact, and he said even if you could use like magnets or something, and even if you could like reduce the force in newtons of a blow by 10%, like that would be great. And he was just saying like, like you could work the electronics and hook up the sensors to like try and figure out like what it's doing. And
where would you come in though as a computer programmer?
I don't know. I don't think he really knew
engineering.
I don't think he really knew much about
just saw like
comp sci in general,
technology,
which is why he.
Computer engineering makes sense.
Yeah.
Computer
programming.
Actually,
yeah, it doesn't kind of like software.
I mean, you would have to have some kind of programming, but that comes later, not in the.
And I feel like it'd be super like low level stuff.
Yeah.
Our associate from 301, Fred Drury.
Oh yeah.
He is actually involved in a startup, and they got a scholarship to get funded.
Really?
So they went to start an event held by Startup Edmonton, which is like a place or like some kind of organization that has all these workshops and these get-togethers where entrepreneurs and like investors and all this stuff come together
really
from
cool.
Edmonton that I kind of want to get a membership to. It's like $25 for the year, and you get free like business plan 101 workshops and stuff like that. So anyway, he has his little. They went to that hackathon. Remember he was talking about he was going.
Yeah.
So they went, and I guess it sounded like nothing that I thought it would be, but it was kind of like the game jam where over the weekend you try and make a game and then you get prizes and stuff. Well, him and his two buddies rigged up and made ski goggles with a HUD with an overlay interface called Buddy Tracker, where you can GPS your friends and you can see an overlay of where they are when you're skiing with them.
It's pretty sick.
And I don't think they were able to get it fully functional, obviously, but they were able to get like some sort of overlay on the goggles, so it just looks like ski goggles, and then there's lights along the top, and it lights up inside, and you can see. So I guess there would be like a companion app with your phone, and it'd be kind of like a video game. I'd be looking around for Pete, and because he's on my Buddy Tracker, I would see a blip like on my goggles on the other side, and if I was looking like through a forest, I could just see the blip, and you can tell where your friends are when you're skiing, so you don't get separated.
That seems like a really big deal. That seems
really cool, right? And I told them they got a website. Actually, you can pull up the website if you want.
Absolutely.
I think it's called buddytracker.io. I think it was.
We're about to find out. So while that's loading.
Yeah, and it sounded really sweet. And yeah, this is it.
There we go.
And you kind of can look around it. And he made this with WordPress, but they, I guess they took this to, what's it called? That they got some kind of funding for to do it over the summer. I think it said 2016 summer, so maybe it was last summer they worked on it. But I told him once he gets a prototype, I want to see it, and I wouldn't mind investing because I feel like people would go crazy for that.
Oh yeah,
it's such a good idea.
It's like I feel like it's just ridiculous. That's such a ridiculously big thing. There's so many, even just rescue. You know.
Oh yeah, search and rescue people. They just have everybody on the mountain. They got to register on this app.
Yeah, like that seems like very, very lucrative. Lucrative then.
Kind of safety.
I wonder,
too.
it could be interesting finding how did he come up with this, because it's a specific idea, right? Skiing, goggles. Did he start with?
It just seems like one of those things that seem really overwhelming at first. So, like, I wonder if the thought process was, this is what I want and let's do it, or if it was, let's start with this tracking app.
And then
let's see with glasses, or let's see with phones, and so on and so on. Because overall, just looking at it like this seems like a really big idea.
Yeah.
And I wonder if it was tackled as such or as little mini projects leading up to it.
Even so, like, you just kind of have to dive in. And, I mean, I guess even if it's a big idea, the only thing you have to look at, like realistically, is it's just gonna take a lot longer to get going. But there's no point. There's no point in like shooting just underneath the bar, But maybe you're right. How it developed, it was like
it just makes sense.
From a phone app
for me
to like let's do the whole thing.
Yeah. As opposed to so we get glasses right, and then we get this right, and so
pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Maybe once they have more to share and show for it, we'll have them on the show.
Oh yeah, bring them on.
Join up on the StartUps podcast.
Absolutely. But yeah, that was kind of a neat little startup.
Yeah.
Did you have any others that were stolen?
I do have another. I have another one that was kind of stolen. It was like a business idea I thought was really cool. I had no idea how it could work in real life, and I found a thing that works with it. So
it did.
This was for marketed towards mostly college students. And you guys will start to see the legal issues with this app once I start talking about it. But it's like, college people, younger people, high school people, they like to brag about how much they drink, right?
Oh yeah.
Lord.
Okay. So what you do is every time you drink something, you log it into this app. You log what you drank, how much you drank. And then throughout the night, you can see what you had, how much of you had. You can see a little chart. And then it's like a social media thing. You can see what other people have had. Then there's achievements, right? Like, tropical achievement. Have 3 types of liquor that originated in the Caribbean, like around the world in 80 days. Have a drink from like every continent in the world. You add on all these like badges and stuff you can get, and then you can have like liquor stores sponsor you, show this app at this liquor store, get 10% off.
There would need to be, how would you,
or like Smirnoff sponsored, like, drink Smirnoff tonight and get this special badge.
You'd have to have some kind of validation system so people weren't just doing it and lying.
That's true. And so I was thinking like have it scan the barcode of something, and then unique barcodes you can't scan, that sort of stuff.
But then it would be, how would that work for like house parties and stuff?
Well, you just go to you have a can of beer, but that's a thing. It's kind of self-reported.
Right.
You would have to.
But I'm sure you could think of a way to get it.
Yeah, no, that's a sweet concept.
But the problem is,
you could have people kind of like LinkedIn, where you put a skill and then someone can endorse it. Someone could validate that you actually did it.
And then you could have built-in support for party games. Let's say you want to play sociables or something. There's a virtual deck of cards inside the app, all of that sort of stuff.
Like, it definitely gets crazy when it's a lot of people.
Yes.
But I feel like if it was just a group like us, like, podcast crew, and we we won't lie, like we keeping track of what each other are doing, then it's a lot easier to manage if you can kind of.
And then next day, like, how much did I drink last night? You can go through, you can see over weeks how your consumption's gotten.
And you can even make it more than a one night goal system, where like with the purity tests, where people
and a purity test at our school newspaper, it tracks like how many impure things you've done, and you get assigned points based on those.
Right.
Except with this, instead of a one night goal, it's like, over the next year, I get achievement if I can get this drink in like France or something, or something a little bit bigger.
Yeah, or you can tie it to nutrition. There's all of these different things. The problem is,
or even if I go 10 days without drinking, you'll make this like drinking app your AA. To kind of help you get off.
Well, that was one of the like possible lawsuit sources, right? Because how easy would it be for people to get alcohol poisoning trying to get that next badge, or like
I guess you
addicts, or like if kids start using it and then they crash and you get a lawsuit, that's a lawsuit right there.
There's only so much. I mean, disclaimers and like ratings, and you have to.
But like people have tried to sue Apple or Snapchat because they're snapping while they drive, and then they hit somebody and they say it's Snapchat's fault.
Yeah.
So if they can make a lawsuit for that.
Those people are so dumb. Just trying to like save their own ass because they look like a bloody idiot.
Just be accountable for your
that's
life.
it.
Yeah, like
your decisions.
Don't
snap
do that.
And drive.
Don't be dumb.
Well, wasn't that I think it was Timmy's or McDonald's, some lady spilled hot coffee on herself, and then she tried to sue them for like...
Yeah, for how hot...
Well, that one I heard, it was like way worse than just that, though. Like, they put it was heated at a temperature that no normal coffee should ever be heated at.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and she
happened to spill it?
And she happened to spill it, but it like really fucked her up. Oh, and all she wanted was money for the medical bills, but they just sent all their lawyers down on her. And those millions of dollars she got, that was awarded afterwards by the jury, who felt that McDonald's was being too big of a dick in how they dealt with it.
Wow.
Damn.
So it was like, that one, there's a bit more to it than it seems.
Okay.
But there's a lot of other ones that are a bit...
We had a moment of silence there. My laptop died on me. Not actually died.
They just
had some technical.
I'd call it an act of God, but I don't know if that's
some overload.
It was like an I/O system overload, which I'm sure I'll learn about in some comp sci course down the road.
Probably.
But we ended up talking about the McDonald's, which to you guys feels like 2 seconds ago, but for us it was like
20, 30 years.
Yeah, absolutely. That's making me think about that scene in Interstellar when they get back on the ship and the guys.
How good!
That hurt my soul.
That was just.
I saw that part.
Can you imagine?
25 years. I can't. I can't even go back.
Let's not go to that place right
now. Okay, so
So after talking about McDonald's,
I was talking about a I guess app slash website that my girlfriend had an idea for that is kind of similar to this virtual study space that we've seen advertised on campus. But essentially it would have all these department names, so English, math, whatever, and then you would say, obviously you would register, and oh yeah, I forgot to mention that you could validate your enrollment in a school by connecting it to your Bear Tracks or something like that.
That's such a big thing, being able to plug in with a school.
Yeah, like figure out
Bear Tracks is our official login.
You could validate that they're actually in that class that semester and stuff like that.
Yeah. So what does the app do?
So essentially, what you do is you can just go to a specific class and you can just make a post that you're available to study for that class, and that you're looking for a study partner, whether it's just for that assignment, for the midterm, or for the whole semester. And then people can meet up with you, respond to that, and then you can all give each other ratings, and you'll gain a reputation in the community on how good of a study partner you are. And those will come out and kind of like rate my prof in that sense, is for how valued you are as a study partner.
Do you think profs care about? Because I feel like as a student, I would care what my rating was. But do you think profs 100%. Care about?
If I were a prof, I would 100% just be looking through that all the time.
Yeah, it's good feedback, just like they do the feedback through the U of A in the classes. It's like the same thing. You would
be able to give feedback then for the student you're in.
Yeah, because you want to be a better study partner. Maybe you're not necessarily a bad study partner, but you don't have the best study habits and tactics that aren't necessarily effective, so someone can critique you and help you in a sense.
Could be good in like real life too. Let's say maybe you're I'm trying to think of a personality trait. I don't know, maybe you act a certain way and you think it's totally fine and somebody else doesn't think it is.
Yeah, you're always late or something.
Yeah, sure. And so they could just say, sometimes late or whatever, and then you realize, oh, I didn't even realize I was doing that, and then the rest of your life you nail it. You're better.
And I wonder if you can, I guess, on your account, make a disclaimer of, this is a pretty busy semester for me. I'm working pretty, late shifts.
And give some context.
I will, yeah. Just kind of, just so
you can communicate that through your post, I suppose.
There is some sort of context to the way you are.
And then at the end of the semester, all the posts from the previous semester are wiped because they're kind
based
of null and void.
Fresh start
courses. I feel like maybe if you were really good, you can kind of get a badge in that course.
Yeah,
but we don't show any negative.
Okay, that could work. So you have badges from previous courses you've taken,
Stack Exchange,
but it still gets wiped away. The specifics.
Technically gets wiped away. But if you were good, there's at least a reward.
I like that. So then, because what's the point then? If it gets wiped away, you can just say, "Oh, I'll slack off for the rest of the semester."
Yeah,
and it's gone.
Yeah. So, but if you're bad, you get a chance.
So maybe if you're not a good person in that semester for studying, you just don't get a badge, and that's.
Yeah, and then the next semester, there's no bad badges attached to you, and people have bad semesters, and then you can redeem yourself.
So
next semester.
if you do bad, there's no punishment, but if you do good, there's a reward.
Yeah, there's a reward.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Tolu and I had an idea that was similar to that, but more specific, where you just rate other people in the course.
Yeah.
You need to do group work. You want to work in teams. They get a rating. Same type of thing. Just.
And that weeds out the. And we talked about this on the break, but that weeds out, people who aren't necessarily good group partners that wouldn't want to be rated. Because then if the app just becomes a bunch of hard work.
Because it could just be, if you're not a hard worker, why would you ever join the app? Because you lose out. But it works out in the end for the hard workers, because anybody who's on that app, chances are they took the initiative to do that. They probably know what they're doing.
Or if you're a big time leech and you just want to find all the hardworking people.
Yeah, but I mean, they'll look for you too, and all that. Just kind of makes all the not so hardworking people, stuck to themselves. But like I said, if there is a context where yes, I am on the app, I am interested in getting better.
Yeah.
But I'm a first year student, but have no experience in comps or whatever. and there's some way for
and you can upvote like people's posts and stuff. Like it'd be like Stack Exchange essentially.
We're just laying this down for you guys at home right now. Just get a group of guys together and just spend the next 2 years listening to our podcast, and we'll just give you ideas.
We are.
I had something similar to that I just remembered now, but for driving.
Okay.
Right? You got a guy in front of your car, cuts you off, doesn't signal. You got to find some really easy way of just like poking him in this app, and then he gets a little blip on his record that, hey, this guy doesn't signal.
On his record. That's savage.
Well, like on his like in-app profile, so you can look at your friends or whoever, and they can see like, oh wow, Angus doesn't signal when he drives, and so now you know, right?
Or all these ideas are so like the foundation is like critiquing others.
Yeah, rate other people around you.
Yeah,
it is like in terms of
and you could,
in terms of school. Sorry, in terms of like a campus type setting and courses, it seems more doable.
Seems less
than out in the open world, because
petty.
then it's like, how do you get that information of the person in front of you?
That's
and
true.
Should you be able to? Is it based on license plate? Because if it is,
and there are just
a
lot of people out there.
That's a locked database through the government.
Wait a second, you're on your phone while driving.
It's a trap. The government releases an app just to ding the people who use it while driving.
Rating people like writes a 2-paragraph thing like, I can't believe this guy I'm driving behind right now.
I am driving behind him right now.
I'm driving so slow I can text 2 paragraphs and not get an accident.
That's hilarious. Also, I forget what else. If you could, like, you take the study one, you take the driving one, all these things, these rating other people, it like pulls in the aspect of your online persona that you wouldn't get with Facebook and other social platforms, because when you look at someone's Facebook, Instagram, whatever, generally you're just getting the image they're trying to portray.
Yeah, you're not getting the good stuff.
You're not getting the pure opinion of that person. But with those rating apps, you do. And I mean, if
it's such a
NSA or someone wanted
slope,
to,
though.
they could take the metadata of your profiles on your driving, your study buddy thing, your Facebook and everything, and they really have a good idea of what you're about, who you are. You're always late to your study meetings. You don't signal when you drive. You like this and that music from your Facebook, and they know basically everything about you. But not only that, they know what people think about you.
Oh, that is...
You're scaring me a bit. We've got a few degrees colder.
Want to hear something very interesting?
Sure.
That is season 3, episode 1 of Black Mirror.
What? I basically wrote the show, and they just listened to me on this podcast.
Yeah, how many episodes of that have we gone through so far?
Season 3, episode 1 is the whole world is based on ratings, and you can't like.
Spoiler: I am Black Mirror.
The worst superhero name ever.
I'm here.
What's your superpower? People see themselves in me.
Absolutely. I inadvertently make TV episodes.
In the future from the past.
Yes.
Somehow.
Isn't that also a thing, right? Like,
oh my God.
You write things and then they come true or something?
Death Note! I'm so pumped!
Oh,
I am so pumped for Death Note. You don't even know.
Yo, there's 2 Death Note CDs behind you in that case, and I didn't look at what they were. We're going to have to look at it after.
All right. Sounds good. I'm down.
Any hoot. I don't think I've... Sorry, you're going to say?
Oh, no. Kind of continue.
I don't think I have anything that I've thought of that was taken. Oh, actually,
What about like normal? It doesn't have to think outside of tech stuff. It doesn't even have to be a...
I swear I had something, and it got made... Oh, no, never mind. That was just a basketball move. I totally made
killer move.
Dude, I made this sick killer move, and then LeBron used it like a week later, and I was so jacked.
I mean, I basically told a horror story on here, so you can.
Do you
feel
think
like basketball moves are fair game?
When all the the great people assumed to be in the Illuminati, like just the greatest of the greats around the world, including LeBron James sleep, they just get attached to like this machine that sucks up all our dreams and ideas every night, and then they pick the best one.
Damn, I don't know.
Well, that's pretty good for you, though, that you came up with the best idea in the world.
And LeBron was like, that Brandon Vest guy is really living up to his last name. And snag that idea. Another episode. No, I'm just joking.
Again, this is also, I feel like I don't even have a lot of business ideas. People just like share all these ideas with me.
Oh, and
But a friend of mine had this idea that he kind of fleshed it out for a business course. But it was a universal gift card. So what it is...
Sorry, is that not just money?
Oh, like a Visa card?
Okay, I'll wait.
Hold the phone. Relax. So basically, what it does is you have companies that are available on this card, or this card works for.
Okay.
So you have the card, and the card has a general balance.
Yeah.
So you can put money onto it, and then you can allocate those balances to certain stores. Now, I know what you're thinking is like, why wouldn't I just use my debit card?
Mm-hmm.
So not only is this good for kids, because you can... If you're saying, hey, like I'm gonna give, little Timmy $20 to use at the Timmy's that's by his middle school, you just give him that card, and that money is only good for Timmy's, right? But you can also use the same card if you wanted to give them, $10 for Timmy's, but maybe $10 for the shell. So he only has money for those.
I can see the use over cash, because then Timmy can't take those $20 and go buy like Coke or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He can only spend them at
and
that's just an application of it, but I'll keep diving into it.
All right.
So not only that, you're saving plastic. There's only one card. You don't have to fiddle through your wallet for all these gift cards and whatnot.
Wait.
And also it's reloadable. So I think there was like something like $300 million goes unused in gift cards like a year. So all those small balances that get left over, it's obviously all rechargeable, and so you're not wasting those balances. It like
carries
anymore.
over, collects.
I wonder if that just kind of morphs into credit cards for kids, where like as silly as that sounds,
kind of.
Is that a thing?
No, well, I don't know, but where instead of gifting, instead of gifting cash or whatever or other stuff, they just have a card. But the card is, again, it's able to be customized by the parent.
Yeah. So you gift, you could gift certain, like I'm going to give you $30 for Starbucks on that card. Or I can just give you $30 general balance to put in that card, and you can allocate it how you want.
Yeah.
Also, exactly. I think the big ticket he wanted was a conversion rate. So essentially what happens is when you put money on that card, if for every dollar you make Timmy's dollars, you get an extra 2 cents.
That's a really cool idea.
So there's like a conversion rate, and
how
then
much of this can you say on the air?
Yeah, is this in active development or something?
No, I don't think so. Okay. So, and then essentially what happens is those companies can take and alter their conversion rates, have promotions, and that's kind of like an incentive. Not only are they saving money, they convert that $50 into Timmy's dollars, and let's say it's every, I don't know, 10 cents for every dollar or whatever, then that's pretty close to getting a free coffee. You have an extra like $5 on your Timmy's balance.
Yeah, it's nice. Like it seems the way I'm picturing it in my head, you just open up your laptop and put in the card number, and however dollar amount is there is customized to specific places.
Yeah. I do and it would help with like budgeting and stuff. Every month you can say, my local grocery store, they get whatever, $200.
And it's not backwards convertible. So once it's save on dollars, it stays there. So you can't screw around and take that and take it somewhere else.
That just evolved from a kid's credit card to a applicable
legitimate thing. Card. It's like budgeting, but real.
I wonder if you could just kind of have that, if you could have your cards linked to that card as an adult, where where like if I want to pay for a drink, if I want to pay for a drink, I use this new card, right?
Yeah.
But it gets taken out of my debit card.
Yeah, because
that way
you can
it would have to be like that.
It's like PayPal. Like
exactly.
you can
you don't
transfer
want
money.
to,
Like it would be the banks who would have to organize this,
exactly.
right?
I'm not sure because PayPal, you can put money on your PayPal account.
Yeah.
Like
so it'd be like that.
Just make a platform for them.
Yeah.
And you connect it yourself, and it's all customized. But really, all you're taking out with you is that card.
That's it.
And it makes it kind of, because if someone steals the card,
it's attached to your account, so it doesn't
matter. It's attached
matter.
to your account.
Whereas gift cards, you lose the gift card, the balance is gone.
Yeah,
exactly.
I don't know how much you guys have used Starbucks when they overhauled their gift card system, but I really like what they've been doing. So it's you have a Starbucks account on the app, and every time you get a gift card, you can tie that gift card to your account. So you have all these gift cards, you can just send the money all over the place. If you lose one, you can just transfer the money out and delete it. And whoever took your gift card, he's shit out of luck now. It's basically your idea, but just for Starbucks.
Oh,
nice.
But if you can get that in all of the cards.
Yeah, you get a shit ton of stores to sign up. They have incentive because, they become available on this card that everyone wants to use. I mean, if you had even a Walmart balance on there, and they had a conversion rate, all the money that you're planning to spend at Walmart that day, why would you not just convert it and put it on the card to get that little extra
and then
money?
Let's say you decide you have to spend that money at Walmart now, so it's good for the companies. It's good for you.
And that conversion rate money that's being added in, companies can say, oh well, you're basically giving people free money, like almost coupon money to be given to us, but then it's like, no, that conversion rate money, it's just basically our percentage of all sales that we get that they spend with this card.
The other thing I was going to say too is that if someone takes it, they can't just go on a ball and spray.
They have to spend specific amounts of money at specific stores.
They don't know what store they're going around. They're like,
it's like the ultimate budgeting card.
Yeah, like, can I spend money at Timmy's? Oh wait, my max is at $2. Just going around the whole mall. Because they don't
have the app for it, right?
Yeah, looking for where to spend this card.
So
before you shut it down, because you'll probably get some kind of like notification on your phone every time you spend or something.
I think including Tinder, that is the best app idea I've heard on this whole podcast so far.
Yeah, it's good. And I think I've only pitched it to a few people, and everyone I pitched it to is like, damn.
It's real good.
And not even a Black Mirror episode.
Yep.
Well, okay, let's wait until the next season. Don't worry, it's coming.
It's not my idea. I want to make that very clear. Yeah. Actually, I should. Our client for our app, that was his idea. Another one, the one who had the idea for the app.
She's a fountain of ideas.
He is. So, I mean, maybe we'll touch base. Maybe he's still working on it. I'm not too sure. I think it was a little hesitant because you really bank on having enough stores to launch with and coming on board, and also
it just sounds really fucking hard to build.
Yeah, it'd be pretty aggressive.
Handling all of that money and stuff.
But then as well, you would have to it's kind of like everything's going digital. So it's like, are we coming in this too late? But people still use cards. Cards.
Well,
are
you could just you got Apple Pay and stuff. You can just maybe it's just an app, not even a card. It's just your phone that you tap it.
Yeah,
I think
do both.
The idea of the card makes it.
I would like to have a card.
Nice for everyone, again, including kids.
Yeah.
And you don't need to have a smartphone if your battery runs out.
That's true.
There is still some type of a card. It's just you have too many cards. But if you have this one card, that's just kind of
best of both worlds.
The vacuum of all your other cards. That's very ideal.
And I really think just gift cards are the dumbest idea ever.
It's so wasteful too.
Yeah, it's
all that plastic.
I guess business wise it makes sense, but it's kind of dumb.
They're annoying too. You don't know how much is on the balance half the time.
Yeah.
There's just so many ups to this idea. When I was told it, I was like, man, that is. You should do that. It's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like it would take a lot of capital to
launch and test and stuff. Yeah, for sure.
But hey, if we sell our app, we're making for a lot. Maybe we'll see if we can do something with that.
All right, and then last thing I got. What is the best places? Where do you guys come up with ideas?
Oh, right.
What do you guys do to?
In terms of like phone apps and stuff, I've heard that it's good to kind of identify a common problem and just find an app that's just a solution to that problem. It's like the easiest thing to do, which is kind of like the app we're developing. It's has its own little niche. How that's kind of how I come up, or that, and how I come up with ideas is I look at a outdated, um, piece of technology or some kind of organization or structure of doing business and revamp it, which a lot of people do.
Like
Uber, like
Netflix.
Tesla, like SpaceX, like this gift card idea. Take an old, outdated system like gift cards and revamp it and make it new.
I found that being in a bar, I come up with a lot of ideas when I'm just like having drinks with somebody.
Really?
Yeah, just shooting the shit and talking.
Yeah. I feel like it's, your inhibitions are a little bit lowered, right? So you can just pull stuff out from everywhere. You think outside the box more, and you get some really good stuff coming out of that. Tolo, you got any?
I don't really have a system for ideas. Like they just come.
Yeah.
But I was talking to someone about this. I was talking to someone about a couple of app ideas that I had, and where they're ideas that you kind of need to market to people, to like each person, and you need it to grow in that way, like our app, for example. And then there are apps that you need to have a good marketing team or be a good marketing person. But really, all you need to do is sell it to one person, and it's like one person who's ahead of some sort of organization,
right?
And it grows in that way.
Gotcha.
And I got that from a friend of mine in BC. Well, was telling me his friend, super techie guy, comp and all that, made an app that, again, their version of eClass, which is just where your grades and whatnot are, your grades and course material and all that. This guy made an app that integrated, because they had a different website for attendance, different website for grades, different website for course material, different website for enrolling.
Oh,
which
really?
makes sense. Like in high school, right?
Oh,
It's just like, just go here if you want to do this, go here if you want to do that, right? But he made an app that brought everything together into one.
Damn.
And sold the idea to the principal, right? Principal goes ahead, vibes with it hard. It costs, I think, $2 or $5, makes it mandatory for every student.
What?
Because you have, like, every student has to check in their attendance, blah blah, homework, registration. To be a student in that school, you needed to have the app.
Yeah.
Access to the app. And you're not selling this idea to students.
Just gotta get into the right
hands.
Find
the source, and if you pitch it well enough, the work is done for you.
Yeah.
But it is more difficult to do that.
Yes.
Obviously, than one-on-one. So, in terms of my ideas, I tend to usually be along the lines of the second one, where it's usually ideas for like a head of something, where I need to really sell it to one person.
Yeah.
And that one person will take it down. Like with, I'm trying to think of one of the ideas is for for things like classes that need to be taught. It's like Quizlet, except I don't want to say much about it, but it's a way where you like if you give the app access to the notebook or the source, you can customize the the questions and answers and all of that, but in a way that's different from Quizlet and all the other quiz apps out there. But that kind of thing, you would have to, if you sell it to one teacher, that teacher can make it mandatory for her students.
Right.
If you sell it to a head of a school, makes it mandatory for your teachers, makes it mandatory for and so on. You sell it to a school district, you know what I mean? Like the higher up you can attack, the more it flows down under you.
That's true.
And again, it was weird for me to think of a kid in high school having a paid app, because I'm like, no, the kid in high school is going to pay for your app. But when it's mandatory, it becomes a thing. And that really struck me and stuck with me since high school. And I find that, and most of the ideas I have kind of go around that route now.
That's true. The higher up in the stream you can sort of throw in your product, and the more it'll flow down. For those kinds of
ideas, yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Well,
all right. Well,
I think that's all the time we have for this week's episode. I'm sure Tolu will hook us up with a nice beat to outro onto from Ebb and Flow. Do you know which one's going to be on this?
Yeah. The one I just uploaded, called Fanta.
Oh,
the one with the Boondocks background.
Oh,
Did
yes.
You see it? Yeah.
I think I watched listened to the
Instagram clip.
The thing, yeah.
So I was hanging out with Simba. We're both just it's just so nice to be done school and just be able to
fully dive in,
relax, fully dive in. We should have just went at it with music, and then I was like, I wanna, because one of my favorite producers, Origami Beats on YouTube, he adds anime and intense
I've seen those are cool
to his beats. So we were looking at a bunch of anime. There are some animes I have in my backlog, but I wanted to use the Boondocks one for this one. And I don't even watch these animes too, but I'm watching the fight scenes, and I'm getting interested. Like One Punch Man, or whatever his name is.
Oh, dude, One Punch Man could be a good one. I also go back in Berserk.
I'm
watching Berserk right now.
Yeah.
And even Full Metal Alchemist. There's a bunch.
There's so much out there.
It's infinite.
As long as I can find the dub version without the subtitles, I can play around with that and edit it into the background. So it's just nice to be able to do something you enjoy. And just a big celebration.
Okay.
With you guys. You guys already know. And the rest of the StartUps podcast family. I passed Math 115.
Yeah, you did.
I was like, where is this going?
I passed. That class took the life out of me.
We had to end this episode on a high note.
Math 115, by the way, is Calculus 2. I think that's Calculus 2 is pretty standard, around North America in a way, as that course. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's I failed it once already in our first year. Came back around and clutched it.
Nice.
Very nice.
This time, so.
All right, hit us up with that new beat. Probably coming at them right now.
In 3, 2, 1.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.